Hey rock stars, welcome to our third Thursday out here in the woods, all-star sales call. Today we're going to be talking about summer survival, and more than just surviving, we've got some people who are thriving in the month of May, so let's go ahead right now and give some recognition where it's due. Dwayne Cunningham, 14 net sales. Wow. 12, Andy Brumbaugh, 10, and Ariana White, 10. Congratulations to our top sales by units for the month of May. Dwayne, Wilson, Andy, and Ariana. Great job, guys. And then by volume, we have Dwayne again with 4.8 million in net sales in 1 month. And Mike Bell, 3.15 million. Nice work. And also Ariana White with 2.5 million. We're going to talk today about summer survival, and we know that all of you have been thriving, and not just the ones that we named, but so many others had big time performances in the month of May. You all had an epic ending to Cancun 500. It was so epic that I had a spontaneous dance party break out in my kitchen of my home that led to a fully clothed pool party celebration, all thanks to you and the good work that you all did. Congratulations on a giant May, setting a record for the company in those 31 days, and really further establishing our group, all of you, what we call New Home Star, as the very best new home sales team in this industry, working on becoming the best sales team in the world. Let's talk about survival. We're out here in the woods and we're using some of our survival gear, but I think that we have some tools along the way for you today. And here we are at our first one, sales. We're going to go on 5 words today, and the first one that we want to focus on for summer survival is sales. And you've all heard before that it's kind of about what have you done for me lately in sales. And it's a funny thing. It's a funny thing to think that you might be well ahead of your sales goal for the year if you were to calculate it right now, but you're still accountable for the number that was originally forecasted for June. Is that weird? Like if you were supposed to have 30 year to date at the end of June and you're already at 32, why so much pressure to hit the goal this month? Why does sales continue to be so important if we're already ahead of plan? Well, that's the way it works. We're ahead of plan, and now the goal would be with each of our builder partners is to beat plan, not to regress back to just being on pace for plan. And so as we go through some things today that will make your survival happen this summer, I would say to you, you've got to still get the number. If there's a number that you're being held accountable to in June, be accountable to it. If you have a sales goal, you have to hit it. If something has changed and now that goal should no longer be, then the first sales job that you have to do is to your manager and to your builder partner explaining why you're not going to hit that goal. What's not acceptable, what will not help you to survive, is coming to your own conclusion that you don't need to hit the sales goal and then not hitting it and not telling anyone. Because when you tell a builder or your manager at the back end of May or June or July that you didn't hit a goal, that sounds like nothing other than an excuse. So simply put, you have to hit your sales goal. That's part of survival. And if you're not going to hit it, run to your manager right now and say, this is why I don't believe I'll hit it. How do we want to handle this? It's not okay. You will not survive. Mosquitoes and snakes and bears and wolves and coyotes all around us when we don't hit our number and we don't meet expectations. So survival tool 1, hit your sales number. Do what you got to do. They're harder to come by right now, but that doesn't excuse us from doing it. Use all of your stuff and make those shoppers buyers to hit your sales number. Let's see what's next for us. I see another one over here, I'd say. What is this? Service. Service. You've got a bunch of homeowners in backlog, and it becomes imperative for us right now to place a priority on service, and we'll call this survival skill, survival tool number 2, service. How are you servicing your backlog? You worked so hard to get it. You worked so hard to get it. Now you've got to take care of it. There's so many tips and tricks and tools on the portal where you can look up the video backlog management, part 1 or 2, and time management, and all of these things that have been created for you to help you be more effective in backlog management. Focusing on service. Sales, you got to hit those numbers. Service, you have to keep all of your promises and continue to be professional. It's not easy. We're not asking you to do it without training or resources. The portal is full of it. Go into Peer Learning and look for questions about backlog management and service. You'll find tips and tricks from experts all over the country ready to help you. And while we're here, survival tip number 3 for this summer is servitude. Near and dear to my heart is this idea of having servitude for those around you, and here's why. Your construction partners show up at 6:30 or 7 a.m. and you are showing up often at 10:30, and they leave at 5:30 or 6, and you're often leaving at 6. And if you haven't noticed, you're driving the newer, more expensive car. You may have only been here for a year or 2, and you're making big money right now because sales are happening. You're selling a lot. And your construction guys, gals, service guys and gals, they're not paid the same way you are. And so I'm not asking you to make apologies for this, but when you know that you're extracting a lot of value out of a situation, you need to focus on the relationships around you. It is a survival necessity that you show servitude to the team around you. How do you show servitude? Doing great paperwork, offering to help. For goodness sakes, if there's an office pizza party, some of you knuckleheads, if there's an office pizza party, don't leave when it's over. You stay until everything's cleaned up and make sure that everyone else has left before you. If there's a meeting in your office, get the Windex and paper towel and clean off the whiteboard before you walk out. Some of you are unaware of how you look to me, much less to your construction partners, when you're making big money, 2 or 3 times what you made a year or 2 ago doing something else. Now you're pulling this kind of money and you're not stopping to show thankfulness, and you're not aware, you're not conscious of how fortunate you are in a position so that it would cause you to act differently because you know how blessed you are. And so I'm focusing on you. I want you to focus on me when I say this. For you to survive this environment, for you to survive in this company, servitude is essential. Get there early, stay late, empty the trash, serve the glasses of water, offer the seat that you were there first so you think you should have. Love that. Now is the time. If you're sitting on massive backlog and making big money, and you've got construction teams scrambling trying to clean up your mess, or people who are in less good communities coming over to cover your 4th vacation, you are on the wrong path. That is not servitude. Think about this. Focus on this word. It's a survival necessity. Servitude. Please, please, please don't miss this one. Okay, let's move on. Aha. We've got another one over here. Looks like our next survival tip is sustainability. What does that have to do with summer survival? Well, here's what. A lot of us are selling homes right now where we think that we're really good at this thing, but we've forgotten that our industry is very cyclical. Cyclical in terms of seasonality and cyclical in terms of the typical 7-year cycle. And so this idea of sustainability is that so many of us right now feel like we're on top of the world. We're selling homes, we're getting good Avid ratings, that's customer satisfaction ratings, we're excited about all the money we're making, our customers are happy, and everything's cooking. And what you don't know is that tougher times are coming. I promise you, it's certain, tougher times are coming. Tougher times are coming. So we talked about hitting sales, and we talked about providing excellent service, and then we talked about to your sales team and your builder team and your corporate team having servitude, and now we're talking about sustainability. What do you think we mean by this? Why is sustainability a characteristic that we're looking for in summer survival? I'll tell you why. Right now, it's easy to stop training. Right now, it's easy to stop learning. Right now, it's easy to stop fully engaging. And so what I've got to see in my long career is that people come into this business so often and have a big flash of success, but it wasn't rooted in anything strong, and it's not sustainable. And so 5 years later, the cycle wipes out the weaker people, or the fall comes, or the dog days of summer come, and they wipe out the weaker people. The people who, like the Bible parable where the seed was tossed on the rocky ground and its roots didn't get deep. It popped up real fast and looked good, but then the wind blew it away. That's what I think about here. Are you digging your roots in deeply? Are you digging down, even while you're having this kind of success, and focusing on your own personal development, your ability to set expectations, your ability to work with your construction partners, your ability to overcome objections instead of passing them down the line, your ability to defend margin, your ability to hold backlog in place even when there's some great reason for them to cancel? Are you fighting right now to make this a career for the rest of your life? Are you fighting to make your place in this industry sustainable? It will not happen by experience alone. You will not last in this industry by resting on your laurels. The way that you'll make it, the way that you'll be here for a long term and you'll flourish in this space that's cyclical and challenging, but right now looks easy, is to grind. Every day, find time to do personal development, get in the portal, peer learning. It's amazing to me how many times I go into a peer learning question that's so relevant and I see a great answer and it has 2 upvotes. And I wonder how many dozens or hundreds of you need that answer and haven't gone in and looked at it. And so you're not building anything sustainable. You're taking easy sales out of the market. And then the storm's going to come, it's going to push you off, and you're going to be out at some job interview figuring out what's an easier way when things go down. That's what will happen. I've watched it over and over. I could name the people. Your option is to dig in right now, even if it's just for a half hour a day. Dig in and learn. Read, watch again. Take the quiz. Don't settle till every quiz is 100. Post questions in peer learning, answer questions in peer learning, upvote questions in peer learning. Keep learning and grow. Get your roots deep like this tree. No storms coming through and pushing over these trees that are around us that have the deep roots. It's the ones with the shallow base that won't make it. And that's your decision. Will you be that, or will you be sustainable? Summer survival, it's the perfect time for you to dig deep and put down firm roots that make you last in this industry, even when things get tougher in the future. You need to hear this message right now. It's a survival necessity. Let's go find the last one. Well, I'm glad to find this one, because you can't just keep pushing hard all the time, right? We wouldn't want that. This last one is self. And we want your success to be balanced with your happiness. And we want your personal life to be treated as carefully and as importantly as we ask your professional life to be. And we know that these relationships with your loved ones are the most important relationships in the world for you. And we know that taking care of yourself is the only way that you'll ever be able to take care of your team and your builder and New Homestar. So I want to encourage you with this last summer survival skill to focus on yourself. Can you pick a few times right now? Can you pick can you pick a couple of dates where you turn off your phone? Can you partner with someone else on your team and say, hey, I want to have you manage all of my backlog for these 4 or 5 days, and then I'll do that for you, because I want to be able to turn off my phone and give all of my attention to my kids. Or I want to be able to go on a 3-day trip by myself and not do any work at all. This is a great time. It's a great time to take care of self. It's a great time for you to make self a priority. We wouldn't have told you to do this in March. Your model was flooded with traffic and it was time for making sales. But right now, this is the right time for self. You find some time in July, find some time in August where you unplug and you do whatever you're most passionate about doing. Nothing to do with new home sales. Nothing to do with work. You just go take care of you and make your priorities number one for some period of time. Let me tell you what, some of you think that you're so committed to your career that you won't do that. I've been there, and I regret it. And I've come to learn that when I can take some time for myself, I in fact am better for all of you. When I take a little bit of time for me, it makes me a better me for all of you and for the people in this organization who I get to work with day in and day out. And I believe that's true for you. I believe that if you'll find some times where you'll really make it a priority to take care of you, love on yourself, if you'll do that, that you'll in fact be better at your career. And we've got a bunch of builder partners and sales directors and corporate people who all care about you. Not just for what you can sell or how you can service, but for who you are. We want to take care of you, and the way that we can do that is by supporting you and taking care of yourself. So let's do it intentionally. Let's have a commitment to it the same way you would a sales goal. Let's do it in order so that nothing slips through the cracks, we don't drop any balls, but let's do it. That's the last one. Okay, so we got them. Do we have them in order? We have sales, service, servitude. Next one I have to remember, sustainability. And the last one is self. Got them? Sales, service, servitude, sustainability, and self. Summer survival tools coming from us to you. Make the most of them, and have a great month.